Yeah, I'm just going to repeat that sentence, okay? Good, Rebecca. Nyingme dun dir dishin depenyin chete. Cheche la parche mangshing. Basically, he says the skill of turning a problem into what? Wild success. Yeah, I hate this word opportunity. It's so dull. Turn it into something really cool, all right? Galkien Tunkien Tugur means things that are blocking you turn out to be things that supercharge you, okay? Drup tupa ge. They may not ken sang en kang chu yang chi short do. If you can't turn problems into successes, then there's a danger you will give up your practice completely. Okay, so it's not just that you need this skill to turn a problem into an opportunity or success. If you don't develop that skill, there's a chance you will give up. Okay, that problems will overwhelm you, and you'll just say this is too much. Diamond Mountain had huge problems. Every year here for 20 years, we had huge challenges, and we just busted through, you know. And now it is the largest, I think, retreat center in the Western Hemisphere, maybe in the world, and it's cool. And you just have to keep going, and you have to be stubborn. Dharma, stubborn. Okay. My wife has a stubborn husband. Okay. All right, next picture. Who's on that? It's a businesswoman. Yeah. So keep that, let's keep that image in mind, okay? She's a successful young lady, all right? Deyang Chipa Gashigni, Gosa Sok Chungwe. Then he starts listing a special disaster for a Dharma person. And he says, Kosa. Say Kosa. Kosa means you get a good position. You get a promotion at work, you know, and you become like a vice president or something. All right? And he says disaster. The position is a disaster, okay? Kosa Sok Chungwa. Dharma people get a position, then drag. Drag means they start to get proud of their position. Oh, now I'm the assistant director of ACI, you know, and then the success becomes an obstacle. So turn the obstacles into success, but be careful that your successes don't become obstacles. It's an interesting twist, you know. He says many, a chupa here, the fourth word. Chupa means Dharma practitioner. Chu means Dharma. Chupa means a Dharma-er, okay, a Dharmaist, okay. And he says many a Dharmaist has been ruined by success. Okay, Chekne, Chushor. Chushor means they lost their practice. They got all wrapped up in their position and they lost their practice. So problems is a danger if you don't know how to turn them into opportunities, and then opportunities are a danger. After you turn the problem into an opportunity, the opportunity becomes a danger. So he says, keep a middle way. Keep a middle way, okay? It doesn't mean, by the way, that you shouldn't be a director or an assistant director. You just can't have drag. Drag means pride or something like that. In Yiddish, drag means something else. So I was in the diamond business. We all speak Yiddish, you know. Okay, shor gashi nor chungwe. Nor chungwe means some people get some money at their job. Tsotsi ki cheshor. Cheshor means what? Shor means their dharma falls down, slips on the ice, right? And sotsi means they get all wrapped up in the things they can buy with the money that they got. And you could say Tesla disease, okay? And it gets worse. You get a small Tesla, and then you're like, then Elon Musk makes Tesla ZZ3. And now all your friends say, you don't have a ZZ3 yet? You know, what's wrong with you? And you're like, oh God, now I gotta upgrade my Tesla. And then he keeps coming out with new ones just for those people. Okay, so learn to, he says, sotsi means once you get some money, you get tempted to keep buying better and better things, which is why you're so lucky to have fundraising from ACI and Diamond Mountain can relieve you of this problem. Okay, all right. I'm just kidding, all right? And by the way, we're not making money, and we're all, my account went under zero last week, Jiggy. It was exciting for all my creditors. Gashigni ken nyamba chuwana yi chene. Some people get discouraged when things mess up, okay? Chishorwe. So he says you have to keep a middle way. If you can't learn to thread a middle way between success and problems, you'll never be a good Dharma practitioner. Okay, you gotta keep your head. Things are going bad, keep your head, but also, if things are going well, keep your head. All right, because all the money's gonna go away in one day. All right, you're gonna lose it all in one day. The more you get it, everybody loses all their money. Everybody. So you got to get mentally ready for it, and then you don't freak out when the day comes. Okay. All right. Che Chung Se Che Kul Chepa Yang Shona. He says it's almost better that you never heard the Dharma than if you heard the Dharma and you blew it. So you've been cursed at Diamond Mountain. You heard the Dharma. So it's almost worse. It's almost better if you never heard it. If you just passed by on Highway 10 and went to the Indian restaurant and then kept going to New Mexico and you never stopped here, it's less bad karma than trying to do Dharma and then giving it up. Okay. Che kul. Kul, by the way, in Tibetan for Sugang, okay. Kul means, it doesn't mean cool. It means cool. Cool means you try. You know, kul chepa means you pretend to do some Dharma and then you blow it. So cool is a kind of a very depressing word. All right. So here it means chung se che kul. You try to do a bit of Dharma and then you mess up. Okay. Shorna shintu ne ta chepa. That's really lousy. My teacher, Ken Rinpoche, some of you knew him. I don't know, he specialized in these English words like, that's lousy. You know, he'd say, that's really lousy. You know. He was on a kick for a while. Haggerty probably remembers. He watched baseball for a while. Then all his English was baseball. You know, we're going to do a doubleheader today. And you're out. And, you know, everybody's like, what? Okay. Lam de Gir Tubaga. So, therefore, it's very important to learn, to make sure that when problems come up, you don't let them hurt your practice, and you turn them into some kind of opportunities to be successful. Then he outlined some different ways to turn problems into opportunities for wild success. And he says there's two ways. De la, sampe gyurwa. Gyurwa you had, I'll give $50 for gyurwa. Ayah. Huh? Yeah, who said? Yeah, transfer me, $50. Collect from Jiggy. Tim, you don't get to bet. Yeah, gyurwa means transformation. That's what you did during your 2-day retreat, right? Here it says you can transform problems with sampa or with jorwa. Okay, sampa means with your intentions, and jorwa means with your actual actions. So sampa comes before jorwa. Okay, So he says, look, you can transform problems with your intention mentally or with your actions, okay? And probably you should do both, okay? Then he says the first one has two subcategories, which is very, by the way, he was a low-level geshe from Gyalrong House, Gyalrong College, one of the 12 colleges of ceremony. Pabonko Rinpoche, the greatest teacher of the 20th century, was the lowest level of the geshes from Gyalrong House, and so am I. So we're like, okay, all right. I just got into the geshe. Okay, anyway. The high level geshe takes an extra 12 years. And I wasn't ready to do that because I had other stuff to do. But okay. Dambala chepe gyurwa dang tawe gyurwa ni. Low level means 20 years. Higher level means 30 years. And I'm like, I started 15 years late, so I'm gonna have all my hair gone by the time I. Okay, Dambala chepe gyurwa dang tawe gyurwa ni. Then he says a weird thing. You can transform with your intentions in two different ways. The first one is with actions, so it gets a little confusing. And the second one is with your viewpoint, okay? And what's that mean we're gonna talk about? Don't worry about it. Damboni, here's the first one. Lama Chipa, then he quotes the offering to lamas, okay? Which he's been on a Lama Chipa roll here, right? He's been quoting Lama Chipa a lot, and he's been quoting the 7-point Lojo. Yeah, he's been working on those two texts, basically. And he says, Neche digbe jebu yongkang te. Ne means the outside world. In Tibetan, it means the pot that holds all the people. It's the outside physical world. And then che means the stuff in the pot, which means all the people and all the animals in the world. So he says, you got the outside world, which is the pot that holds everything. And then you got all the people and animals that are in the pot. And he says, pot and people, including animals, because in Tibetan and Sanskrit, animals are called people. Kangsak or Purusha. When we say people in Tibetan or Sanskrit, it refers to all living beings, automatically. It's very cool. We don't distinguish between human people and animal people, okay? So he says, Dikbe Debu Yongkangte. The offering to lamas, the verse starts with the world and the contents of the world are filled with bad deeds. Okay, the world, the pot, and the contents in the pot are full of bad karma. Okay, and where does he go with that? I'm going to read you I think I put the English there, Rebecca. Yeah, there's the English. You can kind of scroll down slow. The world and every being who lives upon this world are filled with the results of every wrong ever done. Let a shower of suffering fall of things I never wanted. Fall on who? On me, okay? And here's the beginning of the transformation, okay? Here's the beginning of the transformation process. I pray that all the bad karma in the world should be dumped on me. Okay, that's my prayer. By the way, be careful what you pray for. Okay, like you gotta be mentally ready before you do this practice, okay? So don't be, if you ask for it, make sure you're ready, because that stuff will come, all right? Let all the bad karma come down on me. Bless me to see it all as a way that all the fruits of my own bad deeds are finally exhausted. So if I agree to take on the problems of all people, it will kill my bad deeds, okay? Agreeing to take on all bad karma cancels your bad karma. Got it? it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a good deal. Take on 8 billion people's bad karma, and one of the 8 billion is cleaned out. Okay. I'm not sure. It sounds like a ACI fundraising deal or something. Okay, here we go. Bless me to learn to turn every problem that ever comes to me into a path that takes me further. Okay, wild success. All right, so bless me to do that. And by the way, he keeps the Lam Rim teaching style is to quote a book that the students are supposed to know. But we're kind of advanced people who spend our day in the cell phone, and we can't memorize 2 lines of scripture because we don't have time because of our time-saving device. Okay? Did you notice that your time-saving device has taken all your time? All right. Lojong Tsawa means let's go to the Lojong Dunduma, which is what? The 7 point. So again, he's flipping to his other source. And that one says, nurture digbe kangwe tse, ken yen chanju lam to gyur. There's the word gyur. Yeah, transformation. And ken yen means problems in your life. Okay, ken yen means problems in your life. It means bad factors. Okay, and then he says, change it to the lam. Yeah, change it to the path, to Changchun, to Buddhahood. Okay, change your everyday challenges into a path to Buddhahood. Okay, which is wild success. Okay, all right. Then there's a picture I want to show you. Ta-da! I have a lot of fun finding these pictures, as you may have guessed. And this one's perfect, okay? And you'll see why. All right, so he's like a young scientist, and he has a great idea, okay? And I am going to test you on the idioms, okay? Idim means idea image. It doesn't mean idiot image, okay? So don't worry. All right. Chepatarna. By the way, you have to read this as natsa. I just made a note to myself because chepatarna is a very common word. And you could misread this sentence. But Tibetan has spaces between every syllable. So how is Joel doing today? It would be ha, wa, is, sa, jo, wa, do, and maybe uldu is a word. You see what I mean? So he says, natsa, sickness, ja means enemies. You can say competitors in your life for your position at work or for your wife or whatever. J means demons, okay? Spirits, spirit beings, okay? So, yidami tumba jungana. Yidami tumba means things you don't want, okay? Things that are not happy. Chungna, rang re leilen shen la gelshing. And here's a very, very deep idea coming up this morning. And if you don't go home with anything else tomorrow, go home with this idea, okay? Here's one idea you can take home, and it will help you for the rest of your life, okay? And it's subtle. It takes a few minutes to get it, okay? Rang re lelen shen la gel. Human nature is to blame something else for your problems. Human lelen means blame. Shen la gel means load it on somebody else. Blame it on anything else except me, okay? The human nature is to mentally, at all costs, avoid the idea that all this crap is your fault, okay? Human nature, and it's very difficult to overcome that nature. It's very difficult to fight that nature. Human being nature is to want to blame somebody else for your problems. And it's deeper than you think, okay? He's not saying the person sitting next to you in the temple at Diamond Mountain. It's deeper than that, okay? You ready? Ne chung wa tamje leki kepar mi shepar. People have real trouble to acknowledge that all the problems that come to them are karma. Okay, they desperately want to blame something else, and it's not necessarily other people. Okay, and he says, "Mishepar sedang den soki kepar ma." People will say, "I got sick because I ate the wrong thing. My illness is because of my diet." Okay, or den in Tibet. I bumped into a spirit being at the bathroom, which seems to be where they come from. Okay, right? Sometimes they break the bathroom. So it was human nature in Tibet that when you had a medical problem, people would say, I must be eating the wrong stuff. You know, maybe I'm missing some kind of vitamin or nutrient, maybe I should change my diet. Or in Tibet, they would say, I must have bumped into a spirit being when I was going past the bathroom. Or, they'll say, I don't know what happened, but I was fine when I left the temple. And then I went over there, and then when I got back, I didn't feel so well. And I must have picked up a spirit being. It's called dun. I must have picked up a spirit being on the way, okay? What do we call it now? Viruses and germs, and it's not different. It's the same, okay? I must have got a virus. I must have got a germ. He says that's as primitive as saying I picked up a demon in the bathroom, okay? You are not different from people in Tibet who never heard of a germ or a virus. You're doing the same thing they did, okay? Oh, I must have picked up a germ from somebody, I must have been at the Jetson Carpet Center, and I shouldn't have sat at that table with that person coughing. And he says, wake up, man. It's not the virus that made you sick. And he's pissed off. He feels pissed off. He's like, listen, don't be superstitious. Don't say I picked up a demon at the Jetson Carpet Center somewhere near where Rob was sitting. You're just doing the same mindset that these superstitious Tibetans who never heard of science. Science is an advanced superstition, okay? Picture the old one. Got it? Okay, duh. Okay, it's not the viruses, okay, it's not the COVID virus, all right, wake up. It's not, demon number 36 behind the rock at Diamond Mountain, give it up. What? Stop blaming it on other things, okay? It could be a virus. It could be a demon. Who made the virus? Where did it come from? Okay, that's like blaming the air. Why'd you get COVID? Oxygen. Huh? Why'd you get COVID? Oxygen. So what are you gonna do? Stop breathing? Maybe. Why oxygen? Oxygen carries the virus. If I didn't have oxygen, I could be better, Like you're blaming the, what do you call it? You're blaming the instrument and not the real source. You're blaming what brought it to you, the wind. Oh, the wind gave me COVID. No, the wind didn't give you COVID. The viruses that floated on the wind from the other person's mouth gave you COVID. No, That karma that floated the viruses to the wind of the other person's mouth is what gave you COVID. Stop blaming it on stupid things. Who created the wind coming from the other person's mouth? Okay, when you have a medical problem, focus on the real cause and take care of it. And take care of it. And then you don't have to, it's probably cheaper, right? Okay, take care of the karma. Okay, does that mean you shouldn't go to a doctor? My Lama used to say, take care of the karma and then go to the doctor. Okay, and that's a good strategy. Okay, did Geshe-la say don't go to a doctor? I didn't say that. I go to a doctor, but take care of the karma before you go to the doctor. Okay, and then the doctor will work, and it saves money. Also, I'm sorry, my computer died. Here we go. Okay, come on back, honey. By the time you get up here, it always starts working. And if you don't come up here, it doesn't start working. No, okay, wait, I got it. So it's kind of, you got to think like that, okay? Is it your diet? It could be your diet. But I got these irritating guys. If you ever lived in New York City, right, Rob? You're on the subway, and there's these buff, thin, handsome guys eating chocolate bars on the subway. And you're like, dang, you know, how they do that must be karma. Come on, you guys. I got this. Oh, here we go. Okay. They call it the wheel of death. Okay. I know you're there. Come on. It's almost like I'm supposed to contemplate before I go on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, people blame things on germs, which in the old days was called sickness demons, right? Tamche leiki kepar mishepe, sedan dunso kepar. I put viruses and carcinogens, okay? That's my translation of dun. Dun means sickness demon, okay? And what the doctors in Tibet did was come over and hit you on the head with a brick or something. And that was supposed to stop the sickness demons. Okay? Nowadays, they just radiate you or something, or give you chemotherapy. It's the same primitive thing. Okay? It's not different from bloodletting or hitting somebody with a stick because they have a demon in them. It's the same thing. Chemo and hitting people with a stick to get the demons out of them. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. If you don't take care of the karma, it's not going to do anything. Okay. So what should you do? Not do chemo? I didn't say that. Take care of the karma, then do chemo. Or do chemo and do the karma really fast. Take care of the karma really fast. Tsawa amlensa kanla tuk. Next paragraph. Kanla tuk is very important here. Kanla tuk means, Sawa means root, right? Sawa means root. Kangla tuk, this is a very important practice. Next image, Daniel. Who is that? Colombo. That's Colombo. Okay, you guys don't know Colombo if you're not from America. So in 1973, when my Lama discovered the demon called television, some guy, I think the guy was a demon, I really believe it, bought him a television. And that was the end. And he's like bang on the floor at 8 o'clock at night. He lived upstairs. I built his house. He had a 2-story house. And he would bang on the floor. And I was supposed to run up the stairs and watch Columbo with him. And Columbo's like Sherlock Holmes detective. And he always has a cigar, Peter Falk. And he goes, so you didn't kill your husband, right? And the lady said, no, why would I do that? And he'd say, well, why is that hairbrush under the chair? You know, and she'd be like, oh, it just fell down. He'd say, it didn't fall down while you were stabbing him. And she'd go, you got me, you know. And, you know, and he was so funny. He was always like, you know, why is this up here? Be a detective, for God's sake. Be a karma detective, you know. Hey, I got a medical problem. Yeah. What's a problem? Where, you know, what's the karma? What karma did I do? And be a detective, you know. Be a karma detective. Cure yourself. Heal yourself, okay? Go to a doctor, yes. Do your treatment, yes. But look at what's the real problem. Trace it back. And he's always doing that. He's like, why is the hairbrush under the chair, you know? And he never says it directly. He always gets the person to confess. He just irritates them until they say, okay, I killed my husband. Now leave me alone. You know? So your karma's going to say, yeah, okay, it was me. It wasn't the virus. It wasn't the COVID. It wasn't the plastic in your water bottle that gave you cancer, you know. It was your karma, okay, what you did. Does that mean you should use plastic water bottles? No, it's bad for the environment, and it puts plastic molecules all over your guts, and you get cancer. So, yeah, but stop the karma also, or else your aluminum bottle will do something to you. Okay, all right. Kebu chumu lendeke kapsitemba tar mindupa chungte le. Mindupa means stuff you never wanted. Okay, dekam is what, Sugang? Dekam. Desire realm. Mindupa here means all the stuff you never desired. It's the same verb. Okay, stuff you never wanted happens. Se means the total amount. The word se here, which means measure, like sema, right? Sugen, pramana. Se means the total amount, okay? Everything you never wanted to happen, leki chepa. It was created by karma. Don't blame, carcinogens. Don't blame viruses. Well, Geshe-la, so should we just cough in someone's face if we have COVID? I didn't say that. I mean, I suggest you ask them to wear a mask and take care of your karma, but maybe not in that order. Okay, all right, okay. Now he says something very deep. I will give, how much can I give, wife? $300 for an extraordinary answer? Okay. Tracing back like Columbo. So who put the hairbrush under the chair there? And then go back one step before the hairbrush. Okay? We traced it back to karma. We got it all back to karma. Where'd the karma come from? What's he say here? What's he say here? Yeah, self-cherishing. Taking care of yourself first. Okay? You want to cure a medical problem? Go after the karma. You want to cure the karma? Go after the taking care of yourself first. Go after taking care of yourself first. It's an easy way to take care of the karma. Okay? Just take care of the karma. What do you mean? What am I supposed to do? Like, try to remove all the bad stuff I ever did? Nah, you don't have to do it. Go to the root of the karma. What's the root of the karma? Taking care of yourself first. Did I say you shouldn't take care of yourself? No. I never said that. And I don't want any martyrs. The Dharma martyrs are the most irritating people. Oh, you take all the pastries. I can do without. You said, but there's enough for both of us. Yeah, but you take them. You know, I mean, it's really irritating because we know you stuff your face with pastries right after we leave. Okay. Okay. So he said, yeah, so be a Columbo. Okay, be a Columbo. You might want to buy a cigar for this. Me and Veronica took her sister Mona to Paris. And we got off the plane, we checked in the hotel. We went out for our first walk next to the Louvre. We found a square. There was a beautiful cafe. And we sat down and had a nice French coffee, which is like the whole goal of spending all that money. By the way, we were there on business. Right? Remember? We married somebody there. And there was a cigar shop next to the coffee. And we all looked at each other at the same moment. We said, let's smoke a cigar. And we never smoked a cigar before. And we went and bought one cigar and we walked around Paris and smoked a cigar together. So you might want to do that. So you look like Columbo. Okay? And you say, okay, this problem in my life, it must be karma. And then be a detective. Be a detective. What's the next step? What triggered the karma? Taking care of myself first. It's so simple. Okay? I can't understand the karma. Yeah, you cannot. It takes a Buddha. But I'll give you a guideline. What's the guideline? You took care of yourself first at some point, somewhere, somehow. You took care of yourself first. You want to fix it? Yeah. Okay, genius. We'll give you a genius grant. Stop taking care of yourself first. I didn't say, don't take care of yourself. I said, equal rights. Equal rights. Dakshen Nyamba. Right? Dakshen Nyamba. Other people have equal rights to your time. Do they have exclusive rights to your time? No. Should you hurt yourself to serve others? Okay. Should you not sleep? Should you drive all night and dangerously endanger yourself? Right? I'm talking to the lady behind you, okay? You should take care of yourself or you can't take care of others because you'll get in a car accident or something. Okay? Good? All right. Sawani rang chenzen la tuk. Tuk is very important here. Tuk means to meet somebody or to make contact. Okay? What's it mean here? Rang chenzen la tuk. That's the end of the detective work. It goes back that far and it stops. That's the buck stops there. The trace back your problem. I got carcinogens. I have a bad diet. I got viruses. I got spirit beings that were hanging out in the bathroom. And then I traced it back to my karma. And then I traced that back to take care of myself first. Tuk means that's the end of the road. There's no place behind that. Because you've been doing that for billions of years. There's no thing before that except more of that. Okay? What's the cause of taking care of yourself first? Taking care of yourself first for billions of years, for countless years, okay? If you get your mental process, your detective work, if you go back as far as taking care of yourself first, you can relax. You hit the root cause. You found the cause of cancer, okay? You don't have to be a scientist to find the cause of cancer. Just go back that far. Tuk means that's it. You hit the real cause. And you don't have to go back further than that, okay? All right, Columbo. Dena kuma nor kupa tsunche kyang leilen kumala dasa me. And I put the English there for you. It's a very unusual word, okay? If you're looking to figure out why somebody broke into your car and took your purse or something, he says, try to work back past the thief. Don't go running around the neighborhood looking for somebody with your purse. Okay? Try to trace it. if your purse is missing, don't go looking for people with your purse. Go looking for the karma. And then go look for the taking care of yourself that caused the karma. And you can relax. Your purse will come back. Okay? Dasa meki. Okay? And what he says here is, it's not enough to walk around the neighborhood and try to find someone who's carrying your purse. Kuma means the thief. Okay? Meki. Ranki le ngen. It was your le. Ngen means bad. Bad karma. It was your bad karma. What's he going to say in the next sentence? Anticipatory translation. We try to teach it to the mixed nuts. Close your eyes and guess what the next sentence says. Yeah, and that goes back to taking care of yourself. Let's confirm. De kie che chen zin la da. Trace it back to your taking care of yourself first. A great translation skill is to anticipate what the guy has to be saying next. You can close your eyes at the last sentence and translate the next sentence without seeing it. And then you can check, and it's a great translation help, okay? It's a great skill for a translator. Guess what he has to say next, write the sentence down, and then fix it, okay? It's very fun. When you think like a lama, you will be able to write the next sentence on your own. And you'll be right. Okay, cool? All right. Then he says, I got a new picture for you. It's 28A. I sent you a new picture this morning just after my coffee. Anyway, it's a traditional Tibetan people there. Well, we'll figure it out. You can put it up when you find it, okay? It's a piece of wood. So when you get sick, when something happens to your body, Kengen means when you get a problem of some kind. Changjuk tope joksu. Now he switches gears. He says, therefore, to be sick is a lucky thing, because it will force you to think about karma, which will force you to think about, you must have taken care of yourself first. Okay, all right. He says it's what's drokpo, you guys? Friend, yeah, friend. Drokpo is a nice Tibetan word. What's the Sanskrit? Mitra. Mitra, okay. Like Dharma Mitra means Dharma friend. Okay, so, and Maitri comes from that. Maitreya comes from that. Ultimate friend. Okay, nice. Jokes is some good day. Natsa dikdipki chakshing yin. Getting sick is the prostration board for your bad karma. So, did you find the prostration board yet? It didn't come in? Oh, it just was coming from the retreat valley. It wasn't that far. Okay. Anyway, there's a special wooden board that's about this wide, and you put special gloves on your hands, and you do full body prostrations on it, okay? And it's angled slightly up at the end. So you go down and you slide, and then you come back and you stand up. I went to a Tibetan doctor recently, and she's like, you got to get a chakshing. I'm like, come on. And because my lama did like 500 prostrations. I don't have time for this. I'd rather go to the gym. But it's the same thing, okay? It's Tibetans like, lamas like chakshing, prostration board, because they can collect some good karma while they're doing the gym. Okay, it's an interesting idea, but it's really bad for your knees. Okay, and so anyway, he says, thinking about where your sicknesses is really coming from is your prostration board. Okay. Work out your sicknesses on your prostration board of intelligence, Dharma intelligence. The board, the prostration board, is your Dharma intelligence. He says, when you feel physically not well, do a daily workout on your prostration board, which is meditations on karma and meditations on taking care of yourself first. Okay, that's your prostration board. Then go to the gym. Then do your workout. Okay, but don't expect a workout to help you if you don't have the right intention. Okay, you have to make new resolutions about taking care of others first. Then go to the gym and work out your high blood pressure or something. Okay, is it wrong to go to the gym to work out your high blood pressure? No, it's smart, but do it with style. Okay, like think about, while you're working out, think of the times that you were taking care of yourself first, and then the workout will work. Got it? All right, Shepa Shin. You didn't find, it didn't show up. That's okay. Nah, that's a different guy. Well, this is a good, let's do him. He has succeeded at something. All right? So get that feeling in your heart, okay? I don't know, he got a promotion, or he won an election, or he lost an election and thinks he won the election. I don't know. Okay? No politics in the Dharma. Okay. Shenpa Shin. Then he says, Shenpa Shin, Natsa so chi chu. Now he's going to a new topic, okay? Now he's going to a new topic. When you do get sick, Natsa, whatever you get, if you think about it, when you get sick, you should celebrate like that guy. Why? You just used up some bad karma. Yay! Did you get COVID yet? No. Oh, you know. Don't worry, you're a good person. You'll get it. You know. Okay. You can wear off your bad karma. You know. Okay. That's a chichu yang. Then he says, if you think about it, by the way, we're going to do Q&A in 10 minutes, okay? So get ready. If you're online, send your questions to Timothy, all right? Natsa chichun yang nunki lengen di zingin san yongne den dila mimbe goche, okay? This goche at the end, goche, it's a very difficult word. And all my vocabulary came from direct contact with my Lama. We lived together for 25 years. He would say things at me, about me, and I had to figure them out. He's like, Koche, and you know, I didn't have a dictionary. I had him. And I can remember where he taught me all my words. Most of my words I can remember where I learned it, you know. And I don't know, we were building a sidewalk together around the temple, in how we built the addition, and then we had to increase the sidewalk so people could walk around the temple and the house. And we did the sidewalk together, you know. And I'm like, we get the truck comes, we pour the concrete, and he looks at me and says, "You got the trowel?" And I'm like, "You got the trowel?" The trowel is the thing you make the cement level with. I'm like, you got the trowel? I said, "No, you got the trowel." He says, "I don't got the trowel." And I'm like, "What are we gonna do?" And he grabs a piece of wood and he says, "Go chut." Okay? And I'm like, "What's go chut?" And he says, "We can use this as a trowel." Okay, so what's go chut? Yeah, substitute. That's a good, who said that? That's pretty good. Yeah, acceptable substitute. Not the real thing, but it's an acceptable substitute, okay? So he says here, if you do get COVID, that's a go-che for cleaning up your karma, okay? Are you intelligent enough to clean up your karma in advance? No. So what's the next best thing? Get COVID, okay? Then you should be happy. Wow, I didn't have a trial. Trial means you confessed your karma with the 4 powers and you cleaned it up. But you weren't smart enough to do that. So what happened? You got COVID. Yay! I got COVID. It's a substitute for it's a substitute for doing confession. Okay? It's a little bit late. Okay? You get sick. If you had done your 4 powers, you wouldn't have got sick. But since you didn't do your 4 powers, you got sick, you should celebrate. You should be happy. Wow. That's as good as doing the 4 powers. What? The bad karma comes back to me at a lower level. You trigger a premature baby. Okay? And that's a Dharma skill that you have to learn. Okay? It's triggering a premature baby. Okay? Try to get the karma to ripen before it's cancer. Okay? Before you get cancer, try to get the karma to ripen prematurely. Okay? Before you get cancer. The karma that was going to give you cancer, try to trigger it early. Okay? How do you trigger it early? You make a decision to take on other people's problems. And that triggers the karma early. That triggers a premature baby. It's a very cool practice, okay? So you decide voluntarily, I will take on Shintian's karma. Tell me anything you did in the last few weeks. I'll take it. I voluntarily accept your karma. Can you take another person's karma? You cannot. Can you get a lot of good karma by deciding to try to take someone else's karma? Yes. That good karma is so strong that it will trigger a premature baby. Okay? And that will go chupa. It's as good as the 4 powers. It's a little late and it's a little messy, but it's better late than never. Okay? So if you're not smart enough to do the 4 powers in advance, at least try to take on other people's karma, okay? And that will trigger an early ripening of your own karma. Got it? Okay? The intention to do something you cannot do is enough to trigger your karma early, okay? Cause your karma. And that's all wrapped up in the Wheel of Life teaching. Limbs number 8 and 9, links number 8 and 9. And I think Sugeng's book finished yesterday or something, and he's cleaning now. He's doing the final cleaning, which takes a long time. So you'll get it before you're 90, I promise. Okay, maybe not before I'm 90. Okay, go chen yam do yide hlang hlang. Say hlang hlang. Hlang hlang means giddy happiness. You know, hlang hlang means. Do you feel hung? No. Okay, just try to do something for somebody else to take their bad karma. And then you're, okay, got it? If you're not walking around like this by the 2nd class, okay. Hlang means, I did it. What? I got COVID. Yay. You know, okay. No, really, if you're really doing a retreat, and you're trying to take other people's tonglen, the sign that your tonglen is successful is that you will have a small karmic disaster. Like you'll get COVID when you're taking out that boy finally that you've been chasing for weeks, and then you get COVID the night before, okay? And then you should be, I did it, okay? All right? Okay. And that's that guy's picture. We got 5 minutes to Q&A, all right? Derma se nge ngun tonglen che te semchen ki dig dug dagla langba yimbe. Da means, well, dun drum. Okay? I got sick. Yeah. What happened? I did it. I was trying to take someone else's karma on and I got sick. It worked, Dun drum. What? Amoga Siddhi. There's two translations in Sanskrit of Dundrum. One is Amoga Siddhi, tantric deity, gets everything done. What's the non-tantric word? Siddhartha. Okay, Siddhartha. Siddhartha is the name of the prince who became Buddha. Okay, his name means did it. Okay, Siddha means did it. Artha means goal. Siddha Artha means I did it. Hee flang flang dundrum. Okay, that should be a good name for someone taking Bodhisattva vows. Hlang hang dundrum. I did it, Siddhartha. I did it, Siddhartha. Okay, hee Siddhartha. Okay, hee Siddhartha. Hlang hang. It's got a ring to it, Tim. We got to name somebody Hlang hang Siddhartha. You got names for everybody, right? I don't have to worry. You got names for everybody, right? I don't have to worry about it, right? Yeah. Okay. So if there's someone who signs up late, like in 10 minutes for the Bodhisattva vow ceremony, I give you permission to call them Hang Hang Dundrum, okay? Which means hee Siddhartha, okay? All right. Dundrum Song Nyamdu Gawa Ke means you should be super happy, okay? Gawa Ke means you should be super happy. So if you try to take other people's karma, and then you have just a normal life disaster, you can blame it on your practice. And go, I did it. Okay, all right. Kene, la dunya ki lakman nam kyang mimba mane. And then you can say, I pray the rest of the crap comes to me also. Okay, I got 2% of my karma just ripened. I got COVID. Now I pray the 98% comes. I hope I get cancer on top of that. Okay. By the way, that's a weird prayer to make. But if you could make it, you'd be a happy person with cancer, okay? Because you used up hell karma or something, all right? A real Buddhist would be happy to have a serious medical problem just after they tried to do all these practices. They would be hlang hang, okay? And that's hard to believe, but it's true, okay? If you get good at tonglen and you have a major problem, you should be really happy. Because the karma you just used up was hell realm karma, okay? And it's a lot better to get a serious illness than go to the hells, okay? You should be ecstatic, okay? That something bad happened to you, Margie, to your legs. All right, good job, okay? All right, Nyamdu Gawa Kini, Dungyaki, Lagmanam. Kyam Mumba means pray that you get the rest to ripen also. Okay. Mumba Semchen Nanki Dungyan Yongyur Sama De Ko Chupa. I pray that my illness should go chupa for the karma of all living beings. Substitute for, okay. I pray that my current medical problems get some mileage out of your medical problems. I went in for gallbladder surgery. It was one of the funniest moments of my life. I was in intense pain for 24 hours in my retreat cabin. I came down here to teach. I was laying on the floor, and I had to go to the hospital, and Jigme's waiting to drag me to her car, and Geshe Lotar's like, oh, I wrote a long life prayer. Can you just hang on a while? And I'm like, Geshe-la, I can't get off the floor. And he says, that's okay, you stay there. And let me read the long life prayer. And I said, I'm going to be the only Lama who ever died during his long life prayer. And he's like, but he wrote it for like 6 months, and I could see he really wanted to do it, so we did it. Anyway, go chupa. Okay, when you get a problem, think that, this should substitute for everyone else's karma. Okay, got it? Go chupa. Nice word, right? Go chupa. And I'm going to stop there. And we'll go to Q&A for about 15 minutes, and then we'll take a break, okay? I'm a substitute for another guy. I look pretty tall, but my heels are high. That's an old hippie song.
So Geshe-la, sorry, well, that was loud. So the question, let's see, where did it go? Is, could you, because of these beautiful tonglen service grants, someone's asking a question about, could you give us some advice on how to manage our resources in a beautiful and meaningful way, especially if we're receiving money from a Dharma job? How to balance things in our lives with receiving such precious money and not wasting it?
Yeah, good question. That's a great question. So, I don't know, for the first 15 years of ACI and Diamond Mountain, nobody got paid. Nobody got anything. I did the whole 15 years of ACI courses. I paid for everything. And I was seriously in debt by the time that process was finished. I was in huge debt, and I didn't get paid. Nobody got paid, and I had to pay for all the notebooks and everything, and the travel, and then people started to help, and then people started to overhelp, and we started to give some hourly payment to some of the people. And by the way, we're not past that. We don't have enough money to pay everybody what you can make outside, and that's just the way it is, But we can. The tonglen service grants are meant to help you with your expenses. And I'm thinking of people like the translators. There's online translators now. Because we went online, there's people who are spending 6 or 8 hours a day translating, and they don't get anything. They don't make anything. And we're trying to create these grants to try to help people with their expenses. Okay. And by the way, to make a commitment to your marriage or your partner, and then make the commitment of having children, for example, and making a commitment to a mortgage and a car monthly payment, and then go Dharma, and give up all your commitments that you already made, is not Dharma. Okay, that's just bad karma. Okay, and I'll repeat. You make commitments in your life to your family, to your car payments, to your mortgage, to your sick parents, taking care of your parents. You make commitments. And then you become a Dharma person, you sign up for Dharma translator. And it's tempting to say, well, I'll just give up my old commitments because now I'm on an enlightened track. And that's an enlightened track to the hell realms, something like that, okay? So you made promises, you gotta keep them, okay? So the Dharma grants, the tonglen service grants, they are meant to help people keep their commitments to taking care of other people, your family, your wife or husband, your parents. You need to do that. So we're trying to make sure people get some payment. It's not, we don't have enough money to pay you, you're probably worth 100,000. We can only probably pay you 20,000 or something because we don't have it's not enough money. But I think it's a great opportunity, as I said, to take a year off or take 2 years off and support yourself and do some cool Dharma work, and then go back to your corporate job or something like that. I'm thinking that will be a cool. I wish I had this opportunity. My grandmother died, and my mother died in the same few months. And my grandma was wealthy, and my mother had nothing. But the money went boom, boom, and so I could do my Geshe degree without working. I didn't have to work. I had this money. So we're trying to give you support to be able to do Dharma work. Now that money is a severe responsibility. Yeah, that's true. So it took me 25 years, 30 years to raise money to pay people. And then I started paying people. And I saw two things happen. Number one, some people worked really hard and very successful, extremely successful, like Tim. And they just did really, really good work. And then some people took the money and stopped working, And I don't know what to do about these people. I'm in a bad situation. I'm in a, what do you call it? I don't know what to do, to be honest. I got money for somebody. They're taking a salary and they stop working. And I'm like, and that's a very serious karma. To waste Dharma resources is a very serious karma. So think about it. If you take Dharma money, you gotta put in the work. You gotta give the work. You gotta do the work. So don't take a grant from the tonglen service grants and stop working, okay? That's extremely serious karma, yeah. So that's all I can say. And you don't have to be a genius to know that, right? And if you're working hard and if you're not working hard. And that's up to you. But to take the money and not to work hard is a karmic disaster, okay? So I don't have to tell you that. You can figure that out. But it's much more heavy karma money. So if you take this organization's money, if you take a grant to do some work, for goodness sake, do it, okay? Or it's very bad karma. And I have these people. They get a grant, they don't work, they keep losing money. And they come to me and they say, I don't know what's happening, Geshe-la. Things are happening. I'm getting all these big expenses and I don't know why. And I'm like, maybe you're not working. Maybe you're not using the money we're giving you. Maybe you're not doing the work you're getting paid for. And they're like, oh. You don't have to be Columbo to figure that out. All right. But it's a ticket to long-term financial stress. You see what I mean? If you take Dharma money and you don't produce, you will be stressed out financially for many years. And that's painful. That's really painful. So, okay? So you're just protecting yourself. Either quit and say, look, I'll do as much as I can without money, or give it your best. And it doesn't mean you have to overwork. When you overwork, you do lousy work. And nobody wants your lousy work, okay? When you take care of yourself and you do your practice, you do your meditations, you study, you do your retreats, and you do your Dharma work, that's sweet, okay? But to overwork and don't sleep, make yourself sick, that's not what we're asking. We're asking you to do a fair amount of work for a fair amount of, less than a fair amount of pay, okay? And So yeah, be careful with Dharma money. It's very dangerous. But if you get a grant and you do what you're supposed to do, it's extremely good karma. And you will be financially successful. Strangely, financially successful. I gave away $3,000 this morning before I got here. Just, like that. And if you follow the karma rules, the money just comes like crazy. Well, $40,000 since yesterday morning. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, all right, Timothy, back to you.
So we have one question here. I'm going to summarize it. During their meditation, as soon as they focus on the object, their body begins to shake, or they begin to laugh, or they begin to get very tense in their body.
Tense?
Tense, yes.
Okay.
So the question is, what can they do to navigate this, or what should they be doing differently so that they're not, because it's uncomfortable and it doesn't seem like it's meditation.
Yeah, okay, understand. So when you're meditating, because of Lung, Sem, Jupa, Chi. What's that? You give me the Bowie, Arizona version. Yeah, the cowboy on the horse. Okay. The prana, the thoughts are riding on the prana, right? The cowboy's on the horse. Okay. So while you're meditating, your thought processes are affecting your subtle body heavily. Okay. So as you sit with your eyes closed, silently, without moving, on your meditation cushion, and you are messing with the cowboy, the horse will, if you do a big change with the cowboy, the horse will move, okay? And it's very common to see a person who's meditating to go like this, or your body like a jolt, or something like that, or you start shaking like that. So you got to get familiar with your subtle body, and you got to know what's a good jolt and what's a bad jolt. Okay, so I'm going to give you some jolt guidelines. Okay, a sudden jolt like that is probably good. Okay, that's a sudden release of prana. If you're doing yoga and you start burping oddly, every pose, that's a good sign. Okay, that's prana's being released. Stagnant prana is being released, and you will burp, or you'll fart, or you'll sweat, and in the yoga tradition, that's considered highly successful. Sweaty, burping, farting yogis are successful yogis. Okay, it's not fun to be around them, but prana is being released. And by the way, it will stop after a while. And by the way, you will get small injuries as prana moves when you start yoga. So the first year that you do yoga, you will get small injuries. You will hurt your neck, or you'll get a bad shoulder, and just work through it, because it's prana is being released that was jammed up. It was stagnant. It was stuck. So don't be concerned if your first year or 2 years that you do yoga, or the first year or 2 years that you meditate regularly, you will have these sudden releases of prana, and that's a good thing. Okay, if you do hurt something in yoga, like your knee or your shoulder, I had a shoulder thing. In 3-year retreat, I had a shoulder thing for the first 6 months or something. Then take care of it. Don't like try to do more prana moving. Like, take care of it. Don't hurt it more. But understand that it might be a good thing. You're releasing prana. So if you have jolts going on in your meditation, generally that's a good sign. Okay, and But if you have shaking, okay, if you start shaking, that's not a good sign, okay? That means you have a overload of prana and not a release of prana, okay? So how do you get an overload of prana? You meditate too much, you meditate more than your capacity, or you're focusing at your heart chakra. So somehow your focus is in here, okay? And then that tends to cause shaking and quaking of your hands and stuff like that, okay? And that's because you are, you may not be doing it consciously. You may not be trying to visualize your teacher at your heart. But if you're generally focused at your heart and you're meditating and you start getting shakes, that's an overload of prana and it's a bad thing and it will get worse. And there's a simple traditional correction, which is to drop the visualization to your navel. Okay, so anytime you get shaky, which is a bad sign, purposely drop the visualization to your navel. It's not at your navel, it's behind your navel. So that's really important. Okay, you're not meditating on your belly button. Go to your belly button and go back towards your spine. So like an inch or two in front of your spine. Okay, so go to the belly button, turn left, go in. Okay, and take the visualization back towards the spine, but not in the spine. Okay, not in the spinal column. They say half an inch in front of the spinal column. Park there, do the visualization there. The shaking will stop. Okay, and if you're shaking, you have to take care of it, or it will get worse. Okay, and then it will cause irritation with your loved ones. Then your meditation is like a klesha meditation. Like you'll become more irritated and irritating at the same time. Okay, so that's a general guideline. By the way, that's why it's important to have a teacher. Okay, like it's really important to have a relationship with a person who's done long retreats and can tell you the difference between a jolt and a shake. Okay, and you need someone who can teach you these things. The nice thing about Diamond Mountain Retreat Center is of all the retreat centers in the whole world, we probably have more 3-year retreatants related to this retreat center than any other retreat center, including Tibet. So I think we're lucky to have the staff here at Diamond Mountain. We have experienced meditators here who survived this 3-year retreat, and they know their stuff because they've been there and they made mistakes and they learned. So probably the best thing about jolts or shakes is to find a good meditation teacher who can help you. And it doesn't have to be. If it's in person, it's better. But if it's online, I mean, that's better than nothing, right? So we have people like that at Diamond Mountain. Get in touch with Diamond Mountain. We can assign someone to you, right? Okay.